Hello and welcome. This is Clear to Close with Vern Larson. I am Ben Kaysen, joined with the mortgage guru, Vern Larson. Vern, how you doing?
Well, I have never been nervous on a podcast until today. I mean, my guest today, I have got to be A, on my best behavior, B, I cannot mess up, and C, I have to have proper grammar in English.
Tell us why.
And I'm real bad with that. So I think on national TV, I said more rememberable or something like that.
Rememberable.
Yeah, rememberable.
That's on Undercover Billionaire.
Yeah, whoops. And so I brought my wife, English teacher at County High School.
Yeah.
Abby Johnson.
Abby, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let me just say, I've been doing this podcast now with Vern for, 5 months now? And I've just been wondering the whole time, like, what could Vern's wife actually be like? Like, knowing the guy Vern, like, who is this guy married? So I'm really excited to get to know you and get to talk to you.
Well, I told you at the beginning, I'm a little bit cooler.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot.
Funnier,
Oh, man. Yeah. So, Abby, can you just kind of start out, talk to us a little bit about, like, your background, how you met Vern, maybe, like, that side of it?
So I'm a teacher,
Yeah.
and had a teacher friend that kept bugging me about going out with them, and Vern just so happened to be a mutual friend, and finally broke down and went out and playing a little bit of cornhole, and my
Cornhole.
form.
That's the way to a man's heart.
My form. It was just so good. He just couldn't resist, and I made him wait outside that night in the snow.
That's when you know a guy's serious. Like if he'll wait outside in a snowstorm.
I was like, I'll be right out. I'll be right out. My car's out there. Wait for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna just see how long he waits.
Is he serious or
he
not?
didn't come back out. And when I went out, I was a little afraid that he was frozen ice cube, but he wasn't. So
How long did he wait? If you don't remember.
I don't know, like 20 minutes.
At least. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there you
In December. Yeah.
It was actually snowing.
That's so cool. Yeah. So what's it like? Well, let me ask you, Vern. So whenever it comes to being a mortgage broker like you are, you've always talked about, like, you do a lot of work, but you also can kind of set your own hours. Can you talk about what it's like doing that?
So if you are thinking about a career in mortgage, it's a great career. It's very rewarding. I set my own hours. I come and go as I please. Right, babe?
Absolutely. Do you want the truth to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, it is great that Vern's able to work on, like, our land. We love to do that together. So usually, like, Sunday afternoons, we get to do that, and he leaves his phone at home sometimes, but don't tell anybody. We're able to travel a little bit, but when we're home and it's just a regular weekday, Vern, really, truly, all joking aside, is probably one of the hardest working people I've ever been around. I have to be at work at 7:15, and I usually make sure and do things loud enough that he wakes up, and somehow he manages to still beat me. Like, he gets to work before I do. I don't know how it works.
I drive a really fast car. You've seen that.
And he's a man. Like, I don't know. It just takes him like 2 minutes to get ready. But so he's at work from like 7 a.m. until, like, I don't know. I call him at night and ask him if he's going to come home. And then he's still, like, on the phone when he walks in the house, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to be a mortgage guy, you got to love your phone. So I usually try to answer 8 to 8. I think that's fair, and then after that, we shut it down.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I know there have been a few times that it's pretty late and you're still answering phones, but that's, I mean,
In an emergency situation.
I feel like I'm understanding in the fact that if he doesn't answer the phone, somebody else will. And so I want him, that's how he's been as successful as he has. So I know that that's what he's got to do. So
Sure. What's it been like balancing that then? Balancing, the work side plus the family side?
I think he does a really good job for the most part. The only time it drives me crazy is when we're in the car and we're driving somewhere and he's constantly on the phone and I can't even like listen to the radio. I've just got to like eavesdrop on his conversation. And like, so I really do feel like if he ever needed somebody to work with him, I could be somebody because I've heard him talk to so many people. I'm like, oh, I know what to say, just because I've heard him on the phone like a trillion times.
And it's funny, Ben, because I always tease her about being Pueblo famous, but she is a celebrity in this town. Like, we cannot go anywhere without somebody knowing Abby. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
can't
really
even go
friendly.
to dinner.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Like, as you guys go around town, you guys are quite the power couple. Like, what's it like being like in Pueblo and having people know
So
you?
how long have you been teaching?
Next year will be 10 years.
10 years.
Congratulations.
So you think
Yes.
about all those classes, all those kids, and those kids are now my buyers. They're at that age, coming out of high school and getting into that first home. So yeah, she knows everybody. It's crazy.
It's like, well, Pueblo's just like a really, really super small, not so small town. And growing up here and in the county especially, I feel like Vern knows a lot more Pueblo city people and I know a lot more Pueblo County people. And so no matter where we go,
Between the two of you.
Between the two of us, we know a lot of people. So it's kind of fun though. I enjoy it. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, you guys. Yeah. So, can you guys talk a little bit about like, as you're just going through your lives and Vern's working with people, like, Vern's helping a lot of people find their homes, very vulnerable position, the people that are buying homes, and then Vern helps them out. Like, what's it like seeing Vern help people connect with their dream like he does?
I just think that it's really cool. And right after I met Vern, I needed to refinance my house.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've actually done two loans through Vern, and I've given him 5 stars reviews, but
Yes.
I got really good rates.
Helps a lot, when you're dating the mortgage broker. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, at that point in my life, I had never done that before. I had never gone through that process. And so I can kind of see it from like being married to Vern and also from a consumer point of view.
Yeah.
And so I think when I tell people about Vern and recommend him, I'm able to give my honest, like, it's so easy. So that's kind of a cool thing too, is that like I've been on both sides of the table, with him. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell me more about that? Like you mentioned, it's so easy. Can you talk about what Vern does to help make people more comfortable and make them get their house that they want to have? What's it been like in your experience?
So, I mean, I know that Vern thinks he's the boss and that he owns it, but you met Megan a couple weeks ago and like she really truly runs the show. So when I was going through,
go ahead and edit that out, Ben. Cut that piece out. We don't want Megan getting a bigger head than she's already got. Like, we can barely get her in her office. Like,
that's funny. I just said the same thing about you. But no, seriously, I would just I would get an email and it would give me like a progress update of where my loan was. And there was one time that, I don't know, either you or Megan sent me an email with like a needs list and it said exactly what they needed. And I was, I mean, that was the easy part. The hard part was finding the stuff because I've got this like filing cabinet that's like not organized at all. And I'm like, does this look like something I need? If it looks important, I'm throwing it in there and giving it to Megan.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the whole process, you also met Cassie. I closed with her and it was just flawless.
I think, after the experience has a lot to do with that, Ben. 23 years of experience. Sure. We've cut out all the problems. We've streamlined everything. We've made it where it's, just faster, easier, cheaper. I know I say that a lot, but that's just really what we focus on. And the communication piece with the client, we understand that we deal with this on a day-to-day basis and we talk in acronyms and things with each other. But when we are composing that email to the client, we try to remember, hey, this could be their first time and take out all the lingo and give it to them in common terms.
Yeah, layman's term, getting rid of it.
Just make it as easy as possible. So,
and I feel like you did a really good job with that as well. We just finished our series, The Mortgage Minute. So that whole series is a lot of very common lingo, just talking about what things are. So go check that out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you want more of an easy run through of what the whole process looks like that Vern did.
And I think we're going to have that in email format too.
Yeah.
Where if somebody can just call in and we can send that whole thing to them.
Yeah.
So
it's a great asset for sure. You spend 2.5 hours and then you'll be an expert.
We'll be ready to hire you down here.
So Vern, I asked Abby that question. Let me ask you then, like, what does it mean to you to have Abby going to work at County during this time and educating kids? What does that mean to you?
She has probably one of the most rewarding jobs, other than, the financial piece is not rewarding being a teacher. But I mean, the kids just love her. And, we've had some out to the land, and they come and help and cut wood and, clean weeds. And they're just great kids. Absolutely love her. I love hearing the stories of, just the other day, she had a girl call and thanked her for always being there, always being that teacher. And, teachers in the community do more than we'll ever remember. If you think back on your childhood, I guarantee you go to that one teacher that's like, oh yeah, that person inspired me, kept me on track, got me where I am today. So I'm hoping a lot of kids pick Abby as that teacher. So she's awesome.
It makes me feel really old. The only thing is that there's one of my past students who's had a baby, and I get to babysit him every once in a while. And I'm like, he asked me if I felt like a grandma, and I was like, no, I'm the cool aunt. Shut your mouth.
Yeah. So especially in 2020 with all the crazy stuff happening, and now we're into 2021 with just COVID and everything. What's that been like for you to adjust and still teach through all of the obstacles?
I think last year we were literally just trying to stay alive. Sure. We had no idea what was going on or what we were going to do or get through. But this year I would like to praise my administration. They have done a great job with just kind of rolling with it. And it's not just one person who's in this situation, it's everyone together. Yeah. And I know me personally as a teacher, it's been hard, but it's hard for everybody. So it's not, I'm not feeling that pressure alone. And I think that they've done a really good job getting kids back as quickly as they could. And then still helping out those kiddos who are at home and online still. So it's been a juggling act. But
She had one of the best analogies when the COVID first started, and we were trying to adjust. Our business was, the schools were, everybody was. She's like, everybody. What was it? The plane one? What were you saying?
Oh, we're building a plane as we're flying it.
Yeah, just putting it together on the fly as you're 30,000 feet up in the
air. Except not quite that scary.
But I don't know.
I mean, some people get off on that, but it terrifies me.
I don't know, man. That you guys as teachers, what you've been doing nowadays is just incredible. So I just want to honor you. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Yeah. For both of you guys, so active in the community, doing your different jobs. You're basically in the community all the time, right? Both of you. What's special about the Pueblo community to both of you?
Well, I've been here since 1993, and I came from Denver, so a much bigger, not that hometown feel.
Sure. And
I love Pueblo for the people, and it is awesome that no matter where we go to dinner, we see somebody we know, and have conversations, and just the true kindness of everybody in this community for all they do, and everybody's just so amazing. So that's what I really love about here, and I would never leave. I love Pueblo.
For me, I mean, my kids are so important, our kids, and mine are just getting to the 4-H age. And I think back to my childhood and those little kids sports at the YMCA and 4-H and all of those really great things that build really good people that learn some responsibility and financial things through 4-H and all of those fun local activities to get involved in.
That's awesome.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Vern, can you speak to why would you buy a house in Pueblo? Why is Pueblo standing out right now?
Pueblo is standing out incredibly. We have a great community. Okay. We've got prices that are still affordable for the masses. I think the article just came out last week, and the average purchase price in Denver was over $600,000. So, I mean, the average person, that's getting to a point where you really can't afford, and the rates are low and great, and that helps a lot. But still, here in Pueblo, you can still get a really, really nice house at the $300,000 level. So, we still have a ton of room to grow. Okay. There's still a lot of lots in Pueblo West. There's still a lot of land available. There's, a lot this town has to offer that nowhere else has to offer. And it's just going to continue to boom. Like I really, really, really think we're set for a boom. So get in now, get your house bought. It's going to pay you back in equity, 10 times over probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. Abby, can you kind of speak to, in Pueblo, if somebody's going to come move to Pueblo, what are the school systems like? What are you seeing from that side?
Well, I've taught in both districts.
Yeah.
And I started out thinking that I wanted to teach like second grade. So I did a lot of my like observation hours in college in really little elementary school.
Sure.
And when I was graduating, my older sister teaches secondary English. And so I was like, well, I think I could do that too. So I just took the test just to see if I would pass it. And I did.
Yeah.
So I got certified right away for K-12, so I could do whatever I wanted. So I started in 5th grade, and then I went to 3rd grade, and then I went back to 6th grade, and then I was in 8th grade for a year, and
So
then
you were all over the place.
I was all over the place, and then I finally like landed in my home. Like I'm gonna retire or die at County High School, and they're not gonna unless they drag me out, But sure. I would really like to just be there forever, and I would say that overall we've got some really good teachers here in Pueblo, and I've worked with some of the best, and I feel really, really grateful to have had the mentors that I've had. And at every school, I feel like I know at least 1 or 2 teachers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, totally. I mean, you guys.
So whatever side of town people get,
there's people.
People land in, there's really good schools. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah.
Not to mention the college. I mean, the college has really done a lot for the town.
Sure.
And
yeah, I'm a graduate from CC Pueblo. Yeah.
Nice.
It's done a lot. Yeah.
yeah,
Vern too, right? CSUP?
I went there. We'll leave it at that.
Went there. Oh man. Anything else you guys want to talk about while we're here?
I think he needs to tell everybody how much he loves his wife.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is a really
great
good point.
point.
See, I knew I was going to
Put it documented.
I just want to put this on camera. Let me look. Camera. I love my wife so much. I'm so lucky to have her. She does keep me grounded. She does put up with a lot from us in our crazy industry, and she does get to see the real behind the scenes. And a lot of times if there's little issues on your loan, you won't really know about it, but I will. And so I'm in the background fixing those, and we don't make it a problem until we need to make it a problem, if there is a problem. So, but we've talked about some of those things where people buy cars and do crazy stuff we did a whole series or a whole show on it. It's called What Not to Do.
Buying cars?
Yeah. Why you're buying your home. Don't go buy a car. Don't quit your job.
I thought you were switching over.
All those things that I have headaches about. So, but yeah, when I'm upset and everything, she's there and really brings me down, or not brings me down, but calms me down is what I meant to say.
There we go.
I'm really bad with this English thing.
Good save. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man,
this show is going to be really more memorable.
It's going to be the most rememberalist.
More memorable. Oh man, what was that like seeing Vern on Undercover Billionaire this last week? By the way,
it was so cool. That is the point where I was telling everybody that I need a bigger truck so that I could get his head in to the door.
You had the eco from that?
No, it was really, really cool. That's cool. I think this sounds really silly, but I think my favorite scene was when the little drone was flying over and you could see the little cul-de-sac and the parking lot, and we're like, oh, there's your car. Oh my gosh, and then Matt and Lewis are outside and they're talking, and Matt said that he was the #1 mortgage guy in Pueblo, and that was it was just really, really a neat feeling, just really cool.
That's cool. Vern, what did you think about it?
I was stoked. It was amazing. I watched it. And I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. But I think they were in the office, Ben, an hour and a half.
Really?
And then they on the show they cut it down to So
That's what Matt was
I
telling
feel
us.
so bad about these other salespeople because I'm always like 10 no's at least before I say yes. So
Yeah.
they didn't show any of those. It was just like I flopped. Boom.
That show just made it look like I'm in.
This guy's an easy sell. Like, we should go see him again.
Yeah, I was talking to Matt about that. Like, you know, a couple episodes ago, he gave him a $10,000 check. What was that? Episode 3. Matt gave Lewis that, and the show made it look like exactly like Lewis was like, "Hey, I'll do this for you," and Matt was like, "I'm in." But Matt was telling me that conversation was like 4 hours long.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just cool. That's so cool. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming, Abby. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks, babe. It was amazing
Yes,
to have you.
Thanks for finally inviting me, honey.
As you can tell from these two, like both of them just so Pueblo passionate, so passionate for what they do. That really bleeds into Advantage Home Mortgage. You can go check out Advantage Home Mortgage online at advantagehomemortgage.co, as well as you can call them.
Just always give us a call at the office. It's 719-546-3100. Go out and check out a football game at County High.
Yeah.
Go get your
Good
kids enrolled.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have Abby
Good
as a teacher.
stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I promise they'll have better English than
I try. Somebody asked me the other day if Vern's grammar was improving, and I was like, "No, mine's getting worse." Like, hanging out with this guy.
Actually, it's worser.
Getting worse. Oh, man. Awesome. Hey, thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank
You can go
you.
check out Advantage Home Mortgage. Go check out the rest of our series right here on Clear to Close. We've done a few already, talking to some realtors in town about some other big issues. Check those out and keep your eye out for the next few weeks. We've got some more big guests coming here on Clear to Close with Vern Larson. As well as if you want a more comprehensive look at the whole process, what do you need to know in layman's terms? I know it's all complicated, it seems like, but Vern does a good job of really bringing it down to where you can understand it. Go check out Mortgage Minute on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to also get that straight from Vern, you can contact Vern and he can get that series to you that way.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Abby.
Thank you guys, and thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day.